And hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pad Trading Partners along with Bob Iagino. Welcome any new subscribers. Thank you so much. Please do leave comments, likes, ring the bell, and longer term members, please, especially leave comments and likes. It really helps getting the channel into wider distribution, especially the new segments. I sound like a broken record. Guess what? There's still selling pressure up here in Tesla, breaking above our key levels we've been talking about, that 795 to 800, and slammed with selling pressure again, still above the rotation zone, still in a consolidation pattern. But that's why, there was I think around 80 something thousand of the 800s went off today in the weekly options. Those are the weekly options that expire this Friday, the October the 15th. It was a slightly quieter day because the bond market was closed for Columbus Day, but everything else was being traded. So short term, there's not much for me to talk about. I thought we were going to get something off the open. We, gunned it off the open, and the projection I did, let me show you, I still had it on from my intraday price action. So these are the ones we had on before. And by the way, just so you'll notice how these levels, look at this on a nice hour chart. So especially that top level corresponding to this other prior resistance area. And then look at it. It made spikes in the short-term chart, but remember, just put things in perspective with the longer-term chart. So we had our significant level zones, and we had our little projections up here. Every time it dipped into that, look at the selling pressure above there. Just wanted to point that out. That's why I don't always remove levels right away. And it's hard for me to leave them on when I make these videos for everything, because I'll just have levels everywhere, and it will stop making sense. Now, the level I put on after we went through that for the intraday price action was the low right before the ramp up. Oops, wrong one. By the way, this is the Fibonacci extension tool I'm using with the modified levels being the harmonic levels. I'll show real quick. Again, we use the 0.25 and 0.125 projections. All right, so I went from the low what was that low? 784.48 right before this nice little ramp up to the pausing bar, because that's all we had, right? You see we had the rising channel line and this 797.50 area, significant level popping above there, giving us the pausing bar. Then we had 801.10, and it just stalled out there, leaving that level on through the end of the day, but it just made another run. You see stalling out of that 795.50, getting above there. I was watching to see if it held support, and it could not hold support, breaking back down. I'm just going to update this level just a little based off to narrow our resistance zone right now. And I'm going a little farther out. So now we have a nice anchor point, so I'm using this to give a little bigger projection. So that's my next levels I'm watching. Let's just go over to bullish case. Key resistance, 796.20 area to 797.50. Above there, still watch this channel line because it's provided some really good, it's our best fit channel line. Above there, watch for today's high, 801.23. Then your projections, 803.64, 806.04 to the upside. Above there, your next major levels have not changed. 812.50 area. Then we have, 818, and those are the same as last week. Right now, have this. Sorry, my dog found a squeaking toy. Of course, right when I start the video. When you got 5 of them. By the way, if anybody's also wondering, we've had some conversations, about the Grateful Dead, and I tend to be a deadhead, and if anybody's wondering how serious that is, one of the rescue dogs that I named is called Stella Blue. She has a nice blue tint to her. One time I'll probably put up a photo, but that's one of my dogs, Stella Blue. So, to the downside, we have this nice little support ledge about 791.88, so you can 791.88 to 792 support, just breaking down there in the close, but I will definitely watch the open tomorrow. The minor levels below that, these are very minor levels. You break below that 790.08, so 790, 788.84, so essentially 789 area. That also coming in just above this prior resistance. We start getting below there, I'd really give it a little cushion on this lower level, but then below there I'm targeting 785.50, then 781.91. We already looked at the 1 hour before, just briefly to show the resistance areas that we fine-tuned. Do not ignore this 790 area. That's the bottom of the 1 hour rotation zone. And then that 785.50 is where this other key support ledge is, and it just happens to be the 50-period exponential. What do we want? Let's check that 4 hour. Remember to go through all your time frames. We start breaking below that. Your 4 hour rotation zone's coming in just below that 788.81. So we have just tons of support. That's why it's really, again, we have a lot of support layers in here. And the bottom of the 4 hour rotation zone coming in, closing in on that 781.91 level. So if we start selling off tomorrow, that's going to be one of my very key levels. Until, again, we get below the 763.66, which is right where the 50 period is on the 4 hour. We're still stuck in consolidation, and we don't have any clear paths. We don't have any good places until we break down below there where we have some more room to run. And by the way, the daily bottom of the rotation zone is 769. So I guess my key takeaway is still in bullish mode, still selling pressure, especially above 797.50. You know, then it's just fine-tuning the levels for intraday. But anytime it starts popping above there, I start watching for that selling pressure to come in. Now, the moment we see it disappear, then I think it'll make a run higher if that does happen before this rolls over. So, you're still getting, let me just see what the options, sorry, I'm looking at my other screen, that's why my voice went a little fainter, just double checking from my memory, 80,521, so not even breaking that 100,000 mark, but it looks like there's still this options going off, and it's just keeping this propped up into the selling pressure. So if the options disappear, we start getting the more down days. And if the selling disappears and we keep the options going, then we'll probably have a pretty decent update. Until then, the trend is still up. It's trade with the trend. The trend is your friend until it ends. How will I get a first warning sign that we might get a bigger pullback? Again, close below 763.66. And with that, I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.